And now I would like to work on this question is the O in the E gesture. Focusing on the E, yeah, the German E, because the O, we know already a little bit. We'll practice a little bit. But let's repeat the O first in a way that you have your hands in front of your heart. And then you use the forces around your heart to move your arms forwards, to bring them together, and then really stream into this area of your arms in a way that it brings you forward, but then fill it in a way that also it does not, you do not fall, but it supports you to become more stable. And then return and let go. So what I mean is you go forward, you feel it brings you forward, but this pressure also is also pressure against your chest, holding you back also. It's not just bringing you forward. So creating fullness. One more time. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, filling it, bringing you forward. Phase 4, filling it even more, stabilizing you. Still leaning forward, but stabilized. Like a tree you can lean against. And breathe. Do a step backwards or forward. And then we go to the E gesture, where we have, we use our hands to sense the forces of light around us. And then you bring the arms along and take the light with it. And then in this crossing, we put all the light forces into the arms, that it's radiating through our arms, and what's there, it radiates through this arm, through that side. And what's there, the light radiates through this arm to that side. And we try to do it with the help of our heart. Maybe one more time, we just sense what's around us. We bring it along. We use our heart to really ray through our arms and take this light along and make it radiating. And through this we create this gesture of protection. Stop, that's my space. You are a nice guy, but please stay there, respect my need of space for myself. And then let go. That's how we often do the E gesture. But there's a secret behind. And this we want to put forward a little bit, that when we just start as we did it once again, feel this light, bring it along. Cross your arms, right through them a little bit. But then concentrate on that you have two arms and they touch each other. And then become aware that you feel one arm and how this arm touches the other one. What it means to this arm. And then become aware that you have another arm. And then sense this arm and how it is for this arm to touch the other one. So that you have two perceptions of how one arm touches the other. And what it feels like. Then let go and breathe. So two perceptions become one, and very often we forget that we have two perceptions of two arms which we just let melt into one another. And then we go still one step further. It's not just touching each other. We try to create the mood of resting on each other. So I feel into the sphere of light. I bring it along and I just become aware of my arms. I put a little bit of pressure into this point of where they meet. How does this arm rest on the other one? And now create this mood of really leaning against each other. So one is supporting the other is supporting the first one. And then let this mood be reflected in your heart. And when you manage to have this experience, you will feel it throughout the whole body. And then let go. And arrive. And then remember that this autonomic nervous system is really creating peace and calmness in a system which is constantly working and shifting things around. Then you notice how this becoming aware of the other one in complete calmness and in a complete supportive attitude, that the other one also feels being supported. This addresses what's going on down there. And now let's try to have this mood of, with O we start moving and with E we are arriving, while moving the spiral. And we do it on the straight line forward for a moment, that we start, you stand behind, you create the O, and you use the O to bring you forward a little bit, and you feel the right arm to bring you around a little bit, and you feel the upper arm streaming, bring you back, the shoulders, and then you feel the fullness of the O bringing you forward, and then you create the E gesture. And now you try to practice this arriving in the point where your arms meet. And this will be followed by an arriving that you sense it in your body, what arriving feels like. And then let go. We go back and we repeat it one more time, that this one arm supports the other one, and the other arm feels supported by the first one, and vice versa. This we want to create. Being brought on one's way in order to arrive. O and E. O, just feel, when does it want to start? How does it bring you around? How does the O help you to accelerate? And the E to arrive. And take your time to create this mood of supporting each other or resting on each other. In your arms and then in yourself. And then let go. Maybe you can imagine that between O and E a little bit would be helpful or is missing to really make it a oneness, but this will come another time. And now we do it on the spiral, 4 times, one spiral after another around the square. And then we sit down and listen to what is it doing to us. And one last concept idea, when you do the O, do not use the O gesture to pull you along, but to motivate your legs to walk the form. Yeah? It's just, you could go there, but and actually the upper system follows. The lower one, it just gives the lower one the idea what it could do. So we start a little bit forward. We go around the back point of our square. We let it accelerate a little bit in order to arrive at the left point of the square. V. Start towards the inside. O. It brings you around this point. It accelerates and helps us to arrive. E. The O brings us backwards a little bit, around, accelerates, and the E arrives. The O brings us to the inside of the square, forward, around, accelerates, the E arrives. One arm resting on the other. Two perceptions being reflected in the heart, being perceived in the whole body. Relax, breathe, and calmly sit down to listen to the resonance. How is your body reacting to what we did? How do your arms feel now, and which part do you feel most? Do the left arm and the right arm feel the same? How is your breath reacting when you listen into yourself this way? How big to experience the space of your chest now compared to your lower belly. Which forms or qualities of forms do you perceive, or would you attribute to your perceptions? Do you feel more warmth or more freshness in your body? Which is predominant? Or are there different areas where you perceive it differently? And how do your perceptions fluctuate? How do they change?